Thank grace of heaven, the virtue of the masters, compassion of the grand predecessor and predecessor, all transmitters, lecturers, temple hosts, and all of you for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak the Buddha of the future, or the intro to, you can guess, right? It's Maitreya. Right. Yeah, this one. So, Maitreya is, or you call it Happy Buddha, is also known as Laughing Buddha, Mila, Maitreya, and Ajita. Mila is a transliteration of Maitreya in Mandarin. Maitreya is it's a short version of a Sanskrit. The long version, it's called the very hard to pronounce. Maitreya Karana. Karana. Okay. So in the ancient China, Maitreya was translated into Mandarin as Chi, which means compassion. Ci then became the last name, and Ajita as first name for Maitreya. So in the Han Dynasty, it's around 206 BC to 220 AD. Of the ancient Chinese history, Maitreya was interpreted as Ajita Bodhisattva. Later in the Tang Dynasty, from 618 to 907 AD, Maitreya was called Ajita as well, but in tradition he was well known for the title of Mila. Ajita is a Sanskrit name which means invincibility or unconquered. So these are different statues that was found in different places. As the larger or longer Suhavativi the Sutra, or it's called the Infinite Life Sutra, or it's also called Large Sutra of the Amitabha Buddha. Buddha said Maitreya was born 42 kalpas, or eon, ago than Buddha Shakyamuni. So here,
before Shakyamuni.
Before, right?
So basically before this eon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I mean.
Even though Sakyamuni said he was
also
three
Yeah.
Asamkhya eon, kalpas, which is like, one times 10 to the, well, depending on the translation, it could be
Right.
1 times 10 to the 140 zeros, or 303 zeros. I don't know. That's pretty long. That's ridiculously long.
It's only an approximation. All right. So here, so Kalpa is a period in which the universe experienced a cycle of creation and destruction. Right, so Maitreya was born 42 Kalpa earlier than the Buddha Shakyamuni, once followed Buddha Ratna Chatra and became enlightened thereafter. The story of Maitreya begins incalculable ages in the past during the time of Buddha Ratna Chatra. One of his disciples was the monk, I don't know how to pronounce this word, but that was one of his names back in that time. It's, I guess you can say, Sramati? I don't know.
Which one?
Monk.
Saramati.
Thiramati. Here.
Who had infinitely who had infinitely more concern for the welfare of others than he did for himself. He would often forsake taking food until he has established a vowed number of beings on the path of pure moral discipline, concentration, and wisdom. So strong was his dedication to others' happiness, and so radiant his kindness and love, that even the gods of heaven praise him, give him the title Loving One, or Maitreya. So on this picture, the middle is him, is Maitreya Buddha, and then to his, your right, this one, he's the Buddha Ratna Chatra. So in the painting, he was wearing a blue leopard skin, usually seen on the female deities. The leopard skin represents wisdom, and the blue would signify the transmutation of passion into compassion, which is the aim of wisdom. Maitreya was born with the full 32 marks of a superior being. For example, the jaw like a lion, hands reaching below the knees, toes and fingers finely webbed. So you can check if excuse me. See if you're okay. So you know if your arm is really this long, so you okay. These are just one of the few 32 marks. There's something like maybe a Dharma wheel or something. That's the image of a web. Okay, so so he was a disciple of Shakyamuni and was one of the main interlocutors in the Mahayana Sutra. Okay, so. Although Maitreya realized Buddhahood before Shakyamuni, he honored Shakyamuni as his guru and held him in the highest esteem. One way portraying Maitreya shows him adorned with a stupa on the crown of his head. The stupa symbolizes Shakyamuni, and its position on Maitreya demonstrates supreme respect. Right? You see this? Something here. Okay.
It's like an image of Sakyamuni. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what all the Buddhas have on the, even Guan Yin Bodhisattva have that image. Yeah, because I know I painted that.
While practicing as a bodhisattva, he specialized in the meditation on great love. He specialized in cultivating the compassion heart samadhi. Excuse me. In addition to love, one of the main practices of Maitreya was the seven-limbed puja or puja. So there are spiritual these are called spiritual practice. One is posturations, offerings, confession or purification, rejoicing, asking the guru to remain, asking the guru to teach, and dedication. This powerful method for countering the delusions, purifying negativity, and accumulating meritorious energy is an integral part of the Maitreya Mahayana Buddhist practice. So here are more of him. Maitreya now resides in Tusita Heaven, where he preaches sermons to heavenly beings. He will be the 5th universal Buddha of this world age and turn the wheel of Dharma for the benefit of all. He will be reborn in Jambad Vipa as a human form 5,670 million years later, when humanity reaches a lifespan of 80,000 years old. Later, he will reach Buddhahood under the Longhua tree in the garden of Hualing. So Toshita, right? In Chinese, it's called Duosai Tian. It means the realm contentment,
Yeah, heaven of satisfaction.
right?
Heaven of joyful, contented divas. That's what Tusita. It's one of the realms in the celestial heavens, the 6 celestial heavens of the realm of desire.
Right. It is the heaven where Bodhisattva Satakutu resides before being reborn on earth as Gautama Buddha. Anybody know who that is? Gautama Buddha?
Right.
That's right. It's Siddhartha. That's
Yeah.
another name of his.
Gautama.
So,
Yeah,
Gautama.
his first name, yeah.
right. So before he came to earth, it's said that he was up there. He was also in Tushita, either preaching or learning what need to be,
Yeah, I mean, Tusita Heaven is supposed to be the last place. that the
Incarnation of
Bodhisattvas
a future
before
Maitreya.
they become a Buddha.
Yeah, yeah.
So then they reborn in the world and become a Buddha. That's the last.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the last, you can say, last incarnation of a bodhisattva
Right.
in
So-
that realm,
Yeah.
in that heaven rather, in that realm, in that heaven. And then that there's still bodhisattva at that realm.
that's a very high realm.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's-
then when they reborn into the human realm, they'll next
Buddha.
stage they'll become a Buddha. They'll be Buddha.
Yeah, so it is a place where bodhisattvas or the future Buddha resides before their rebirth as a Buddha.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why they do that.
So according to Yiguan Dao doctrine, Lu Zhongyi, the Golden Elder, was the incarnation of Maitreya. He was born on the 24th day of 4th lunar month in 1849 in Jining, Shandong province, China. In 1895, at the age of 46, he was said to have a dream from God instructing him to become a student of Master Liu, the 16th patriarch. He became the 17th patriarch of Yiguan Dao in 1905. In Qinzhou, he died on the 2nd day of the 2nd lunar month in 1925. Time period beginning of the Wutai dynasty is 907 to 1060. Budai monk, or the monk with the sack, was known to be an incarnation of Maitreya. He gave advice and teaching to those who cared to hear him, collected all kinds of things in his bag to give out to people who needed them. He was known sleeping very comfortably on the snow during cold winters. Budai monk died in a sitting posture at the corridor of a temple and left behind a verse which said, Maitreya is a real Maitreya who manifests uncountable transformed bodies. Constantly he manifests before living beings who are not able to recognize them. The idea of Maitreya pictured as a happy fat Buddha came about of what he represents. The Maitreya Buddha represents wealth, health, love, happiness or joy, success, peace, and harmony. In short, he represents what each person aspires for. There are several stories as to why the image of Maitreya Buddha became that the happy fat Buddha or laughing Buddha. One of the stories states that the image of the happy fat Buddha came about is because of the Buddhai or the clothes bag monk. Another story claims that the Maitreya one day visited Earth to share the sutra. However, all the women are unable to absorb his teachings because all they can see is a very handsome young prince, and they fell in love with him. Seeing that his image caused women to be distracted, he transformed himself to a fat, bold man.
What? Say it again.
Bold and fat. Yeah.
Because women were falling in love with
Right, they can't.
handsome.
He was too handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember those 32 marks?
Yeah, that's it. And
That's
was
one
that
of the,
everybody?
you know, those are the traits of being handsome.
Yeah,
Distraction to women.
Yeah. So here are more images of him from different country, different locations.
He was just as additional information. His when he was called the monk of the sack or the cloth sack.
Buddha, right?
That's during the time of the I think the Sung either the Tang or Song dynasty. You know that?
It's a Tang dynasty.
Yeah, Tang. Yeah, late Tang dynasty. So it happened after. Remember last week, Transmitted Jin talked about the lineage, you know, the golden thread, the lineage, you know, the lineage of the patriarchs. So that occurred after, I think, the 7th or the 7th, 8th. Just to make sure, it's around after the 7th or 8th patriarchs. Remember, there's a gap in the patriarchal mandate. So instead of patriarchs, they have a whole bunch of these monks or enlightened beings, like eight immortals are part of that. Holy teacher came in the Sung dynasty, right? The southern Sung dynasty, a little bit later, much later, couple hundred years later after the monk of the sack or cloth sack, right? Okay. So yeah,
You said, lecture, right? What year was when all those happening that you said?
between about 700 AD to 1600. So there's almost like
Before,
900.
before or after?
No, AD.
Okay.
So that's AD. Yeah, so a lot of history.
Okay, so in conclusion, Maitreya represents what each person aspires for. We want to learn the quality of the Buddha. The four immeasurable minds are embedded in all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, saints, and sages. We want to practice the Chi, right? Chi means.
词 should be CI, no?
Huh?
For the, according to Pinyin, right?
Oh,
Ci should be
I don't
CI.
know.
Taiwan's calling or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think should be
So,
CI.
Ci means a limitless happy joy, or to give or bring others the happiness. Bei, you want to add something?
词 should be more like compassion and mercy.
慈
Bei is, yeah, bei literally means sad. It means sadness. But bei in this case means, empathy and willing to sacrifice or suffer for others. Okay, so there's some overlap. There's some overlap between those two, 慈悲, because we all
Right.
say 慈悲, 慈悲,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
慈
it is more. It's more suitable if you call it compassion. Yeah,
right,
慈, that's right.
compassion, yeah, mercy, compassion.
Right, right.
And 悲
Yeah.
literally means sad, right? It literally means sad. 悲
It-
悲 literally, but it means, because people are suffering, right? So if you know, as a part of the format, as a Buddha or Bodhisattva, you want
Feel
to
sad for
not feel
them.
sad. Yeah, you have
No.
to be empathize.
Yeah,
so
it-
that you would, if when they're sad, you are also sad.
Sad.
So you're willing to suffer with them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So suffer.
like listen to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
empathy. That's like
Right.
empathy.
You listen to
Yeah,
them
not
and
sympathy, like empathy.
and you try to minimize their discomfort.
Right, and so you're
Okay.
willing to, like, say, suffer for
The
them.
other meaning, the other thing is when the living being suffer, feel the pain, means we feel together, we
Right.
feel the same way.
Yeah, you're in their
It's
shoes.
part of us.
Like empathy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Even like you're willing to take their place. That's really what, I mean, the highest level, 慈悲. Because why? Why does that make sense? Because you are no different with them. You see, we are the same. We are one. So it's no longer me and you. Oh, you suffer, I'm not suffering. You get it? So it's like that's that level. Because we as human beings, you know, as sentient beings, we're pretty selfish, right? We have this, this 我见 or the view of self or ego. So as long as I'm not suffering, that's it. I don't care about everybody else, right? Because that's a very, you can say selfish. Yeah, it is selfish. Okay, self-interest, at least self-interest. So that's normal. That's considered quote unquote normal human beings, right? Normal thinking or typical thinking. So as a Bodhisattva or Buddha, it's totally opposite. Get it?
It's like if you are happy, I'm happy. If you are
Correct.
sad, then I'm sad.
Yeah,
So
because we're
you
all
are
in the same
together.
boat.
You are
We're all
together.
one. We're all
We're
one.
one.
Together. So that's why, it's like you're willing to suffer for them. I mean, with them, or you know what I'm trying to say?
You feel for
Well,
them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Empathy. It's like you are in their place, in their shoes. Okay.
But there's an important part about this is that it's mentioned by Liu Jiangsi. He said that yes, you feel for them, but you should tell them what the problems are, and hopefully that they can look into the problems and not to feel suffering again.
Well, yeah, you should. Well,
So you need
that's
to-
True. Yeah, you should. The whole idea is that you want to lead them out of suffering too. Help people to resolve, right, or overcome.
Like
you say, overcome.
when they don't know the truth, that's where they're gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Once you know the truth, you know how to walk out of it.
Well, yeah, it's basically ignorance, right? So the whole idea as a bodhisattva, well, see, that goes to, from the four immeasurable minds, if you really want to, connect everything, it really leads to the four great vows, that, right? I talked about that, right, in the Eightfold Paths, right? So one of them is to what? Save all in the innumerable sentient beings, right? To save, to help them overcome their ignorance, to become enlightened. In other words, that's the highest level. But that's part of that. Get it? And that flows from 慈悲.
Is that 众生无边誓愿度? Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
And then what's the second one?
烦恼无尽誓愿断.
Yeah, that's 慈悲right there. Make sense?
法门无相.
It's the 慈悲. You can say these are the four immeasurable are the four. You can say qualities. You can say qualities, right? You want to describe. Well, what's a Buddha like? I don't know. What's a quality? That's it. That's the four.
They all have those.
Right.
That means we should all have them
Right.
too.
And then, so that's just a quality. You can say that's intangible, right? It's not, you can't, it's not tangible. It's innate. You can say it's innate. It's inner. Then what's the expression of that? What's the action of those four immeasurable? Is to what? Follow through on those four immeasurable, four great vows. Right? Make sense?
Those four that are in Chinese, what those words mean? It's Su, Pei, Qi.
That's what she's explaining. That's what
Yeah,
she's
but-
explaining.
That's what we were
I
talking
understand
about.
what you are talking,
Yeah.
but
So
I'm
慈 is
talking
compassion.
about the order.
All right, it's
So
compassion.
it would be better to follow
Yeah.
the sequence of 1 to 4.
And then
I don't have the baby on my hand, so I don't know what you're reading. So.
this can be a topic by itself, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the next one is she, right? She, here I have a boundless joy. or mercy, is able to feel the joy for others. Unfortunately, this is a common challenge among human beings because of the jealousy, even when we admire or envy to others. So this is something that when other people are happy, we need to feel happy for them.
That's what teacher said.
This is very important. I remember in the the audio that I listened from Liu Jiangsi, right? Then one of the one of the members in the class, she mentioned, especially the females. The females get jealous very easily when they see somebody else is prettier than her. She just gets jealous like that.
Really?
Right? 零点传世, you hear that before?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's a good story.
Yeah, so it's almost sound like it's a natural thing. Oh, she's prettier than me. Why? I feel jealous.
Yeah, I think the
Envy?
Yeah, or envy, but both the same.
Envy and jealous is the same.
It's the same.
Well, jealous is a more specific type of envy, if
They're
you want to
both,
be
they're
technical.
both bad.
Yeah, they both are bad. Should not have both.
Mirror,
But
mirror
again,
on
men
the
has
wall.
men are
actually
envious,
we
right?
talked one story about one lady. It's a
I think
true story.
naturally women are
One
more.
Really?
lady.
Is that true?
Maybe they're
when
more
she-
narrow-minded.
she thought- When she has
It's
seen
called like
everyone
vanity.
more beautiful than she is, she will be jealous. And then it's a real down members. It's not she couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and when they say, no, I don't feel that way, that's a lie.
Yeah, but I think men can be jealous too.
Men can be jealous too if somebody's more handsome than they are,
Yeah.
right? Same
Oh,
That's probably less common. I
But
mean, that,
there's a merit there. There's a merit. 随喜功德. It's a
Yeah.
merit. When people are happy,
But
people
then-
are fortunate, good situation, we are happy for them.
Or
We also
maybe
receive
men,
the,
maybe
the,
men
the
must-
merits for ourselves too. 随喜功德.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's true.
Also
That's
very
true.
important merit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
be happy for other people.
correct.
Right, right.
Rejoice in the welfare of others.
But some men and women are full of themselves. They're like they think they're the
But
most
men
handsome or beautiful woman in the whole wide earth.
men more get
Think they're
jealous
God's
for
gift to the
other
world.
people's things,
I'm saying,
what
women,
someone
their
else have,
beauty, their
and
own
so
beauty.
forth, not about beauty.
Oh,
I think
men,
men
yeah,
is
yeah.
jealous of people's
Things.
success.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Success.
success,
And
power,
Okay, power.
wealth.
Uh-huh.
Fame and fortune,
Right,
that's
all
what
that.
men seek
Yeah, I
after.
agree.
At least we don't seek after them.
Or if their wife is prettier.
Yeah.
Oh.
They use their wife, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
jealous.
sometimes
Really?
people say, I cannot understand. She's so beautiful or he's very good looking.
Right.
Why they are together? Because they look so different. One looks so good and one looks so bad.
Ugly, yeah.
Because
And they're
it's a
together.
handsome
Opposite attraction.
And I look so good and then she doesn't see me.
Right,
So
right, right.
Oh, I
This is
see.
We
opposite
sometimes
attraction.
we say that.
Well, she sees the internal beauty.
Or
Sad.
Yeah,
their
that's what I'm
past
saying.
No,
karma.
no, past karma.
And past karma.
That's
Electrifying.
true.
Together.
Yeah, it's not about the appearance.
Yeah,
It's
and
about
some
past
people
karma.
they can't see that. They just see.
Yeah, they don't
情人眼里出西施啊，是不是0点传世？ Right?
Explain that in English.
Yeah, when you're in love, you know, you don't see.
Yeah.
It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
It's
To
like a mirror.
us, she's not pretty, but to the husband, she's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's what
I have the whole-
Inside out.
Yeah, beauty
Inside
is
out.
in the eyes of the beholder.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's affinities. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only way you can explain it.
Okay, so the last one is 舍, right? So here we go. We have the 舍, right? It really means the infinite equanimity. Okay, it includes selfless,
Relinquishment. Yeah, relinquishment.
Let go of everything.
right? And besides making donations whenever we can, we also to share and spread the knowledge of the Dharma to others. Okay, that's part of 舍. Actually, that's the biggest merit if you can 舍, which is to spread to tell other people about the Dharma. Okay. We want to be more thoughtful to the people around us. We can self-reflect to work inwards on ourselves. It means that we need first to recognize bad habits, then to get rid of them. We need to control our tempers and speak in kind words. After all, our true nature, Buddha nature, does not come with the bad habits and bad tempers. Because we incarnated too many times, we unfortunately lost in each reincarnation or cycle of a samsara. To reveal our true nature, one must begin the process of self-introspection. We shall resume or continue the journey of Tao in everyday life, and to realize the visible forms are only an illusion. The same applies to its perception, to its names and classification, to discriminative intellect or duality, and finally, even to our human consciousness. The more we learn about Tao, the Buddha, the Sutra, and the scriptures, and practice to let go all karmic affinities, the more we will realize that our true nature is truly beyond words and our imaginations. So this part is my introduction to Maitreya. I also did a scripture translation I wanted to share with everyone.
Come back to talk about this is probably the hardest one to give. And then one time I think for the teacher talk about because human beings we think about we give to others or even beings. But means a lot of things is deep inside. It's our heart, we cultivate, we need to give up. Even ourselves, our time, everything, include ourselves, our heart, our mind, all the living beings. That's probably what after those years of cultivation, that's I feel that one thing can go deeper. Because sometimes we think about trying to give to others what we can give.
Yeah.
But there's a deeper meaning. One time a holy teacher talked to me about it. That's what I started to understand. A little bit, just a little bit. We have to give up our time, even our mind, our heart, all the different things.
Relinquish.
Yeah. So that's pretty, from Buddha point of view, we are touching just the beginning, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the giving is the external part.
Yeah,
The
there's an
internal
inner
part is
part,
letting
yeah.
go of all those
Yeah,
things,
like the
attachments,
12
whatever's on
12
there.
relinquishments.
You know, the three
Last year.
minds and 4 images, right? You've got to let go of those things.
These are all mostly internal. The 12 relinquishments that Holy Teacher taught.
Yeah.
It's basically all internal. Basically.
Can you take a look at this, please?
Yeah, we have
You
whole
can-
bunch.
yeah, we
You
have
can get
plenty of
them
them.
on the
We have
workshop.
like thousands,
Yes,
several
yes,
thousand.
yes.
Yeah,
Everyone
several
can get
thousand.
that.
Yeah, so there's an inner and outer. Yeah, we tend to think of just the outer because that's obvious, it's tangible, it's kind of tangible. You can see it, right? You can see it, hear it, whatever. But then there's an internal
It's
portion.
harder to see, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
you
mean,
can
that's why.
see.
I mean, you
It's
can kind of
mostly
see it.
internal.
Yeah,
most of
internal
it-
is
a lot of
hard,
it's
hard.
internal.
I mean, yeah, you can see it, the
Yeah,
person
you
is,
maybe, yeah,
yeah,
right.
yes,
You
no
can
jealousy.
show-
Maybe,
right.
it doesn't show anger, it doesn't show rage, it doesn't show, yeah. But you have to,
Subtle, a
yeah,
little
it's
bit
more
more
subtle,
subtle.
yeah. But internal is very important because, see, we tend to focus on the external part because it's, you know, it's more obvious, you can say, right? It's tangible, it's more tangible. But we also have to not forget simultaneously,
I
we
think the
have
more
to.
important is the internal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
ultimately, the
yeah.
cultivation
And there's a reason why.
transforming
Yeah, the
heart.
internal is more important because, and here's why. Because if we could do the internal side, the relinquishment internally, very well, then naturally the external will follow, will flow. Whereas if we forget about the internal or don't focus on it, and we just focus on doing external, the problem is that, you know, a lot of the external you could perform, but you do it without, how can I say, with
Truly sincere.
yeah. I was gonna say your way, you know.
Yeah, you do it with motive.
There's a
Uh-huh.
intent, with
Yeah, you
intent.
have an intent of
And
doing
so
that.
therefore, even though you'll gain merit, quote unquote, earn merit, but that merit becomes limited. It becomes 福报, right?
Mhm.
As opposed to, you know, Wu Wei.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we have to, and because ultimately, if we still have, problems, we still have bad temper, bad habits, right? All that stuff retain. No matter how much external merit we do, how much external charity, whatever we do, that, even though, let's say, we can go to the, to heaven, we say go to heaven, actually, well, there's a couple things. Well, if we still retain these inner, issues, right? Okay, we have to cultivate in the detention center up there. Okay, no, seriously, no, we do.
You do.
Because we're no longer pure. We're still not pure, right? We're still not like what our pure Buddha nature should be, right? We still have attachments, you can say, retain these quote unquote defilements, right? Defilements or stains, okay? So we have to cultivate up there. And I don't know how, it's gonna take a long time, yeah. And more than likely, we have to come back down and cultivate again to get rid of those things. No, seriously.
That you talk about very good things about time. Because if you remember, there's one town member, Tong Yigong, he make an example.
Right.
Because he said, because he has so much pain every day, he's a pharmacist. He cultivates so hard. So he said if he take him 10 years to cultivate, it will take our normal people 30 years to cultivate. It will take 2,000 years for those other spirits to cultivate.
Wow.
So you see how much time we need to cultivate.
Scary, yeah?
It's pretty, how much time? About 60 times more spirit to cultivate. So if we can cultivate to this lifetime, when we still around, that's probably the best one.
Yeah, it's the quickest way.
It's going to be very, very slow.
Yeah.
Because some people just learn how to take a bow. It took them 7 years. In the heaven, to take a bow, in our temple, we take 30 minutes. It took them 7 years.
That's
in
crazy.
The heaven to learn how to bow. So you see how the difference between the timing different. Because when we go back, it's totally different. We don't have physical body. We only have a spirit with feeling of physical body. So at that moment, when we have little thought, it's very hard to cultivate. Yeah. So that's a big difference on timing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cultivation is like, the problem is like cultivating in a vacuum versus cultivating in the real
Form,
world. Okay,
yeah.
so in a world of forms, right? Just like a stone, right? A rock has pointy edges and things like that, right?
Sharp edges.
How do you make it smooth? Right? If you just leave it there, let's say in the air, it is
In a
going to
vacuum.
become smooth by itself. It's very, I mean, even in the air, okay, gradually,
Yeah.
even over eons,
Eons.
maybe it could take to make it smooth. But then if it's rubbing against other stones,
Right.
that'll smooth it out much quicker.
Quicker, yeah.
Okay, so rubbing against other stones, like us in this world, dealing with other people, right? In those situations, that's where we realize, if we can realize that, there's something that we need to correct or change in ourselves, then we can immediately, we
Yeah,
can know
quicker,
that we
yeah.
can, a lot quicker, we can make that transformation. But when you're by yourself,
In a
how do you do
vacuum.
that? Right? You have to, it's very difficult, it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
So with that to say, we don't need to go to the mountain
Right?
and
But-
look for a place that has
You need
nobody
to
around
Cultivate, yeah.
to cultivate.
It's
That
clear.
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that's,
Okay, so let me move on to the scripture.
Oh, my
Okay, I'm trying to do the best with my ability to translate this. So this was from year of 2008 when Maitreya channeled. I don't know which temple though, but this is something that he wrote. So it begins with Maitreya, pure land, bursts radiant light. My translation may be a little awkward, Okay, so 弥勒净土定毫光 and then 古神玄牝妙中藏. So with this, I think because I was looking for, the word means by individually, and then I found the gu by self, right, in the 道德经, right, it means
Chapter 6.
it means humble, open-minded and respective, right? Oh, I'm sorry, receptive, right, receptive. But then I also thought maybe it can be translated as a humble being hidden in a village,
Yeah.
right? Right? Is that
Yeah,
right? That's
because-
more sound like it.
Yeah.
Hidden in the valley,
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah.
Our first treasury.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a hint to a first treasure.
No, it has multiple levels of meaning. It means that our true nature is there, right? It's in that valley, right? But that also, it can also mean that what that true nature is very humble. It's meek because it
Yeah.
has no longer what the 5 武力士. What's the first one? First one of the 武力士, the 5 king views. 我见, me,
So-
me.
Yeah, no
You
ego.
know, no ego, no more ego, because you know everyone's the same. So there's no so that's why you can say quote unquote humble, meek, because you realize that I'm no different than anybody else, or that we all have the same Buddha
Well,
nature.
right.
That's okay. You can also look at it that way.
Okay, so the next line says 祖师徒孙同相会 Master, disciples, and descendants are meeting together.
Yeah.
Is that close?
Yeah.
And then here, 大千世界度元皇. All right, so 大千世界, it can also be said 三千大千世界. It's Trisahasar
Yeah.
Maha Sahasar Lokad Datu.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means 三千大千世界.
The entire cosmos.
Yeah.
Right.
You
So-
can look
So
at
it's-
it as also the 十法界. Okay. Well, obviously not the first, not the top 4 levels, but all the bottom 6. The 3 realms. Those 3 realms.
Right,
The realm
世界.
of desire.
Right,
Realm of
世界.
forms and formless. That's
世界.
all that encompasses the 三千大千世界 trias.
Yeah, so it can also mean that, there's little world embedded in another
Right,
world.
right.
So it's world within a worlds and
Yeah,
with
yeah.
worlds.
It's,
Okay.
really countless worlds.
Right, it is. It comes to its countless world. Ferry or rescue the original sovereign.
Yeah, which is
That's just us.
yeah, all
Okay.
sentient beings.
All sentient beings, right? That's what that means too. 奉命白羊祈普渡. Follow the order to save all sentient beings in the white era. Okay. 收元显化归故乡. Final salvation explicits return to home.
Well, revealing or something.
显化 means revealing, manifestation. Yeah.
So basically, what does it mean? It means this is a final salvation, right? So it's time to go back home, right? That's what it means. Okay, then the next one, 灵坛著书非偶然. It's not a coincident to. I'm not sure how you 著书 mean. Maybe to me it means write a book, but I guess to write this whole thing down, okay, by channeling. So it's not a coincidence. He's here for a reason.
Right.
Great vows save lost youth or lost sentient beings.
Yeah, it's sentient beings.
Okay, lost sentient beings. Okay, 无乃弥勒祖师奉持命临佛堂，躬身先把皇母参再问贤徒孙否安康哼哼， Okay, this here basically, when he channels in, he I guess he bows
Yeah.
to the god, okay, Alamu, and then he also asks how everyone is at the present location, okay.
那个徒孙 means that's different level. Holy teacher always asks disciple, this next level is our grandfather.
Right. So he's like a grandparent.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like-
so
we're like
we're-
the grandchildren. We're like the grandchildren.
So it's
Grandchildren.
Yeah.
grandchildren.
We are his grandchildren.
Yeah, it's like holy teacher we would
Would be
like
the
son
parent, yeah,
of the,
right,
you know,
right,
children.
right.
We
It's
are
like
little
holy teacher
babies.
level.
I
No,
see.
because he's the 17th patriarch,
So
right?
he's one
so he's
level above.
2 generations above us.
Above.
So therefore, he's a grandparent. Yeah,
Okay.
would be like that.
Okay. 忠心告知是贤良. Zhong actually means loyal, faithful, hard. Tells to the good people. You can help me because I'm not sure how to do it better way. So it's like I'm giving you a good advice here. Okay,
Yeah,
here we
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
All right, it's giving you good advice.
Yeah, yeah.
4年之内劫难当. Hard to block disasters. 劫难挡. Hard to block disaster in less than 4 years.
In the 4 years.
Within.
This is 2008, right?
2008. So we passed it.
This was 2008.
It's
So I
2012.
just did-
And the next line says, 海内海外有劫难. Disasters are found inland and overseas. 地震一桩接一桩. Earthquakes are one after another. 海啸引发大灾难.
There was the tsunami in 2010, right?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Was it 2010?
Yeah.
That was
2000.
before, right? This was
So
before that.
this is 2008, right?
Yeah, so in 4 years, in 4
Yeah,
years' time, there are a lot of
So there was
earthquakes. Was there
I don't
earthquakes?
know.
Japan, was it
Well, that was
Japan?
2011.
Oh, 11.
Can
So
I
plus
ask
four.
a question? Okay. As far as with the teachings, we're talking about the various teachings that goes on. But do you have a belief that there's a spiritual connection between the earth, as far as how the earth moves, and the spiritual health of our relations? Is it
How the
do you
earth is
believe
moved?
that? Yes or no? It's just a simple question.
Well, I heard. This is from what I heard. They are spiritual beings or bodhisattvas, right? There are those
Literally.
spiritual, right? Literally said that there are beings who are guarding our earth.
Yeah, you can say, yeah. God
Okay,
knows
they're
it.
So
watching.
They could prevent earthquakes. They could prevent hurricanes. They could cause
Not
rain.
necessarily.
Right.
I mean,
It's
just,
not
just
absolute.
In,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
we
yeah,
know it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
absolute,
yeah,
but just
yeah,
in
yeah,
general.
yeah.
And is there that particular belief? That's the big.
No,
big
yeah,
thing.
in the Tao,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously,
Okay.
scientists
Okay,
disagree.
no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, we're not sure about
Yeah.
scientists with that. Just
No,
want to
no.
know.
Yeah, there are bodhisattvas, because bodhisattvas also made vows, right? To want to save sentient beings, right? So, in their, how can I say? It's because here's the problem. Because there's karma, right? Karma. There is karma, right? So a lot of, we say disasters or tragedies, you can say tragedies. I mean, we tend to talk about the negative, but let's talk about it, because there's also good side too, but then the negative side is that because of karma, right? I'm talking about negative, right?
Yeah.
Negative karma. So because of that, then we're going to encounter tragedies and disasters. Okay, that's a given. That's a given. That's a fact. But unfortunately, there are also good people too. People who you can say have good karma. Okay, who are in the same lot, i.e., in the same earth, same location, or same whatever. Okay, with the people with the bad karma. Okay, and so what bodhisattvas try to do is they try to save sentient beings and try to not eliminate but minimize those people with good karma from being caught up with the suffering, subject to the tragedies of those people with the bad karma. Get it? Now remember, we hopefully learned from the Buddha nature class the terms that the 3 things possible with Buddhas and 3 things impossible that Buddhas cannot do. One of them is change karma. So it has to happen. The question is how it plays out and when it plays out. Now, Bodhisattvas and Buddhas can kind of not play with that, but those are the variables that they can adjust. Make sense? Right? So Bodhisattvas realize that karma will happen, but because there's still good people caught up in there, right? So they'll try to find a means or ways to minimize the tragedy to the good people, right? Understand? So that's how we say, quote unquote, Bodhisattva kind of like are taking care or watching over watching over the earth, we can call it, the earthly realm for that matter. Okay, so it's like saying, just like Jesus, is it Psalms 23? The Lord is my shepherd. Yeah. So it's like that. He leads his flock to what? Waters and stuff like that, right? And feed them, blah blah blah.
It's like in daily life. Sometimes we see friends or siblings or children, good ones, and get involved with the bad ones, and someone comes, a teacher or anybody who's around there, and say, don't get along, don't be with them, otherwise you become like them, or vice versa.
Yeah.
If you are bad, you say, why don't become one of those? So it's, I don't know, it's like, for me, it's like a simple.
Yeah,
it's,
so
it's
that's,
there every day.
Yeah. So that's why it doesn't happen randomly. I mean, Bodhisattvas try their best because that's part of their vow, also, right? So we can
But
say.
they will more likely save those who have vegetarian vows.
Well.
That's a big
That's
issue.
true.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a vegetarian vow, then you have more karma.
I agree.
More karmic debt.
Yeah.
So it's harder to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Bodhisattvas try to, because we're not Bodhisattvas because they can kind of like play around with those variables, So we that's why we say God works in mysterious ways, stuff like that. So we Christians. I'm trying to, because the Western thinking is only God. They don't believe in. Oh, we can say angels. Okay, whatever. Okay, but I'm saying that that's how they can, play around, manipulate. We can say manipulate, or not say manipulate, but point people to the to say suddenly you decide, I don't know, one day not to get on this train or not to get on this plane, and then a couple hours later the plane crashed and everybody dies. Whatever, you could say, whoa, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. We don't know, right? We don't know. So things like that. Okay, an example.
All right, so my time is up soon. So let me just read through this. The next line, he says, 海啸引发大灾难 catastrophe caused by tsunami. 沿海区域不平常 the coastal zone is unusual.
Not normal.
浪
Yeah,
Right, underwater or something.
not normal, eh? Okay.
Well, yeah, same.
Unusual, okay. 浪涛千丈卷巨潮. Okay, I don't know if it's the right way of saying
That's
it.
a literal.
Yeah,
Right.
it just means
But it's very
high waves,
high.
high waves.
Right, so it's,
Tsunami.
High
it's,
tide.
all right, 船只淹没海底长 ships drown under the seabed. 四处遍寻无着落. There's nowhere to be found while searching everywhere. 沉没大海人伤亡 sinks in the seas and casualties. Oh, I can't. 死伤惨重非一般 grievous casualties are extraordinary. 妖孽作怪卷巨浪 evil doers make trouble to sweep off giant tide. 兴风作浪又稍狂 so provoke incidents, also fatal frenzy of arrogance. I guess
Yes, it has to be rephrased.
yeah, it needs to be rephrased. Okay, but these are describing how the evildoers are doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like us sewers, things like that also, causing.
Right, they're causing.
Lots of suffering, lots of pain.
Right.
Pain and suffering.
They're provoking incidents and stuff. Okay, and then 张牙舞爪寻仇芒, they open. It's like describing, how it's been done. Like open its fangs and spread its claws. Hasten search for revenge. 6万年来大清算. 60,000 years of final debts collecting. 有怨报冤仇不忘. Revenge must retaliate and never forget. 手持令旗来讨报. Handheld a flag for all retaliation. 寻找世仇绝不放. Search enmities. I guess these are like over lifetimes. Okay, different.
Those ones who are indebted.
Yeah, indebted. That's,
many
They're seeking the revenge.
Yeah.
Right, and they don't let go. Okay,
yeah.
They're not gonna.
no, and they shouting to ask to bring back one's life. Something like that. 不留余地命还长. There's no room left for not paying back one's life, so they must retaliate. Okay. 血流成河死伤惨. River fills with flowing blood from the dead and the wounded. 沿海居民遭巨浪. The coastal resident suffers I guess the big
Yeah,
waves.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
the big
yeah,
waves.
yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. 奉劝世人多行善. Advise earthling people do more good deeds. 善念一发灵明光. Good thoughts, when started, show bright lights. Okay, you follow so far? Okay, anyway. 忏悔前现, is that how you pronounce? 前 Okay, 前不再犯. Okay, it's repent or confess fault and won't repeat. 纯善修德灾可挡. Obtain supreme goodness and cultivate virtue, shield disasters.
Yeah, damage you could, yeah.
Okay.
Could block,
Ward
yeah,
off.
ward off, yeah.
Yeah,
Ward off
okay.
disasters, yeah.
改造命运凭自己. Fate change is all up to oneself. Okay, so it's up to us to change our fate. 修心练性恭俭让. Cultivate one's heart, reveals true nature, yield, reverent, and charity. Okay, I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's asking us to cultivate. 仁义礼智信皆讲. Carrying out the 5 constant virtues: benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, sincerity, or faith. 四维八德遵冥想. Follow and clearly understand the moral foundations for the society in the 4 principles and 8 virtues. 不造恶业是为善. Not doing evil is good. 逢人说善道理讲. Listen to the truth. Every time is good. Anytime. Okay, anytime. Every time, anytime. 造化可改运可创. Fortune can be altered based on what we do. 逢凶化吉保安康. Bad encounters may transform into peace and good health. 知否哼哼 understand. 奉命时间难有限. The instructed time is limited. 有机灵谈在冥想. Will come to explain details when the time is here
Another time.
or another time. And resignation. 口词做反.
He's leaving.
He ends,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
he's,
like,
yeah,
it's a
he-
departure.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
departure,
leave,
right?
Yeah, departing, yeah,
Okay,
departing.
departure.
He's making departure vows.
There's a sentence, 逢人说善道理讲 means when you see somebody, you tell them about the Tao.
Oh, here.
Yeah, 逢人说善道理讲, yeah,
Not
yeah.
listen to this.
When you encounter people, you should tell them
Yeah.
the good dharma. I mean, teach them, talk to them
And
about
what we
it.
saw, we should explain to them a little bit. And then when I accept immediately, just give them some rough idea first.
Yeah, plant the seed, that's all.
So don't keep it to yourself. You need to share it to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not listen to is a talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell.
To tell people.
Yeah, spread the truth. Yeah.
Right. 坐反礼堂. Yes, it means return to the absolute. 徒孙珍重保安康. Disciples and descendants take care and be in peace and good health. That's
There
it.
could be many disasters.
Yeah, so this was back in 2008.
This is before before Japanese.
Yeah, the tsunami.
Must be.
No, also
That's
be,
referring to.
no, also before the
No,
Indonesians.
that's 2004.
Oh, 2004.
Indonesia was early. Japan
Yeah.
was later.
Yeah, later.
This was probably first in
March
2011.
2011. So this was.
But then do we also have earthquakes all over the place? Turkey, Italy,
Yeah, but that was
Chile.
the big one.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I have a question, Transmitter Lin. What does what does hen mean?
Which one?
Means that's how they ancient tongue.
You know, there are different ones.
Yeah.
It's a ha-ha, right?
Depends on the Buddha or their status. They use
Sometimes they
different.
ask you, how are you doing?
Oh, hun.
So it's,
Hen. Ha-ha.
we say okay, fine.
But,
how are you doing?
okay, but then sometimes it's ha-ha,
Yeah, haha.
right?
Or whoa whoa.
Xixi.
Depends on, yeah, those are like the 小宣统.
Yeah.
Oh,
Depends on
xixi
It
is,
depends on what
the
their
age.
status
Or yeah, what
age,
status?
something.
Yeah, age.
oh.
老师，先
Is
不
it
这个哈哈。
expression of their laughter?
And look here, it says
It's
I.
an expression.
Yeah, it's just it's,
It's sighing, is I sigh.
那是我们。
No, it's not a sigh.
It's not a sigh.
A sigh means it's not a good tone. You know what I'm
No, it's
saying?
not, yeah.
This is more like okay, or hello, or goodbye, whatever.
Yes, because it's affected by the tone on all the sentences. That's why
Yeah.
it was Buddhist said.
He's being feeling sad. Yeah, you can say I
Yeah.
means
Right.
you know
Yeah.
feeling sad. Yeah.
So maybe
Could
it
be a
does mean
sigh.
sigh,
Yeah.
yeah.
in this case,
Well,
yeah, 'cause, you know,
it's
he's
a
talking
sad.
about-
It's a sad
Sad.
expression.
Yeah,
Or expression of
the
sadness.
earthly realm.
You can say expression of sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Starting again.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
we have to break.
yeah, thank you everyone. If I said anything wrong, I will ask the Buddhas and I will ask the Buddha for forgiveness and everyone here to correct me. Thank you.